Hey guys, I am back for more in my declutter series. I'm continuing to go through my makeup collection and just make sure that there are things in the collection that I love and that I feel passionate about, and that if I grab them, I know I'm going to have an awesome makeup look that I enjoy. So I wanted to go through and share with you some of the other things that I decluttered. We already did lips, so we're going to dive into eyeshadow today. So first of all, Milani is one of my absolute favorite brands, especially because they are a cruelty-free brand. I just think their products are fantastic, but I don't reach for these singles very much. I'm really a big fan of their new palettes that they came out with, so I'm going to go ahead and give these up. This shade was actually the first, in my first video that I ever made for YouTube, so I'm just not a very nostalgic person in general in terms of like holding on to something for that reason. I have the video to remind me, but I just like, can we just have a bit of a throwback? This is called Bella Champagne, and I was comparing it to Stila Kitten as a potential dupe, and I think that they really, at least when applied on the eye, do look very similar. There's a nice sort of pinky, champagne-y sheen going on there. So, and then Bella Gold is gorgeous as well. I'm going to pass those on to someone. And then I'm getting rid of my NYX singles. So, okay. I'm having a struggle with NYX as a brand because they are owned by L'Oreal. I believe their parent company is not cruelty-free, even though NYX individually is. But I'm just trying going forward not to support brands that are owned by companies that are not cruelty-free. So I want to just declutter some of these things from my collection, and these in particular because I just never reach for them. Now, if there's a NYX product that I absolutely love and, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and use it up if it's something that I absolutely love and I already own it. But for these, I think they are stunning, but I reach for them never. So I'm gonna pass them on. This is the shade Fireball, and it's one of their prismatic shadows. I mean, it is gorgeous, but look at that pigmentation. It's very incredible, but I really don't reach for it, and I have palette or colors that are kind of similar to this in palettes. So I'm just going to stick with those. This one is a unique color to my collection, but it doesn't suit me very well. I like to think it does because it's just so super cool, but it doesn't really suit me well. This one's a little bit chalkier, but it's more of a duochrome. I mean, look at that sheen. It's pretty incredible. It's Mermaid. I think I've made an eye look with it like twice, as long as I've owned it. So I'm going to go ahead and pass that one on. And then also I have this NYX single, which is a, oh, I don't even have the shade on it anymore. I tried to depot it at one point and practically ruined it, and I think this one is just going to have to go because, oh, and oh, okay, I just broke it some more. Yeah, that one's probably just going to go in the garbage. And then I have one of these JCat singles. These are huge. Jakea Beauty has this Blinkle line of shadows that are just these super, I guess, blingy and sparkly. Maybe that's what they were going with that name. But this one is really strange. The pigmentation is not there. I was really hoping for like a solid white base with white glitter. And what you really get is just white glitter. Like there's not a lot of white base that comes through. So it doesn't work very well for me for an inner corner highlight, which is what I was going for. Maybe if you were more creative, you could really make that work because the sheen is impressive, but I just don't reach for it because the formulation for me just isn't working. So this one was in the shade Pearl Cream. I have two others of those that I really love and I'm keeping, and another one that's really similar to this from JCat that I am keeping. So yeah, so like I said, getting rid of repeats and just things I'm not using currently. Okay, I am decluttering a couple of Colourpop shades. So I decluttered a few a little while back because they had dried out a bit, and now I'm going to go ahead and declutter one for the same reason. This purple, oh, I wanted it to live on forever because it's so stunning. This is the shade Dare. Oh my gosh, I can't even open it. I closed them so tight to try to keep them alive for longer. Okay, I literally can't even open it because I closed it so tightly last time. But this has the most incredible purple duochrome shift, but it's just not something I wear, you guys. I have other purples that I make, I don't know, this shade of purple, this deep of a shade, I prefer to use matte. And then with a shimmer, I'll use like a lilac purple or a champagne, you know, topper. I just don't tend to reach for this. I think it's really fun, and if it were still creamy, I would probably keep it around, but this one has dried out and it's also completely unopenable because I am the Hulk. And then there's this one. This one is so cool. This color is Telepathy, and it was part of the Kathleen Lights quad. And the color is just, let me just show this to you because you're gonna die. It's like this incredibly metallic, shiny gold. I mean, it really is amazing. But for some reason, the shade of this, it's a little almost like a greeny yellow gold, and it does not work with my skin tone. I look dead when I try to apply this to my eyes. I've tried it on the lower lash line just to use it as like a small pop of color, and it just doesn't work for me. I wish it did because it's so amazing to look at, but I'd rather see someone who could actually use this, you know, have it go to them. So this one is starting to dry up just a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and Hulk seal that one as well, but I'm going to pass that one along. All right, those are my singles. And then I have a couple of other kind of randoms here. I have these two cream shadows from Loc Tati. I really admire Tati as a YouTuber. Her ability to post every single day is incredible. I know it's her job and all of that, so I'm not like beating myself up for not having content like that, but I really just wanted to support her, and I was so excited for the opportunity that she had with Loc. So I grabbed these shadow sticks, and they're very nice, but I don't use them. I don't know why I never reach for shadow sticks, oops, but I don't. Like, look at that pretty champagne color, it's gorgeous, but I never use it. And then the purple, also gorgeous, very deep, but I never use it. So I'm gonna pass it on to someone who might use it. And then there are these two that I'm getting rid of. So for small palettes, I featured this one in the Bring It Back tag. I'll link that video below from such a long time ago. It was before I went cruelty-free, but products that I love that basically brands have discontinued. And I really loved the Sonia Kashuk quads when they were in this packaging. I thought they were absolutely gorgeous. And this one in particular has one of the nicest navy blues of a shadow that I have ever experienced. Sometimes you get a navy blue in a palette that once you swatch it or you apply it to your eye, that it goes like kind of teal or like aqua underneath, and this is true to the color. So what you apply is what it looks like in the pan, what you see is what you get, and it's very pigmented. The other shades are gorgeous as well. Some of them are ultra glittery, but you know what? I've used this like twice in my life. I love it for what it is, but for actual use, I'm not gonna reach for it. So if there's someone out there who would reach for this because they can do like deep dark navy glam, then I want them to have it. So I'm gonna go ahead and donate that or pass it along. And then this one, you guys, I picked this one up really recently. I used this in a first impressions, and my impressions weren't awesome. I think the look actually turned out pretty well, but this is an all matte palette, and it's sort of a plummy purple color. There's a black, there's a gray, and like an ivory shade. And it just, to me, the colors ended up just looking a little bit muddy. Like I didn't get enough of what the colors were supposed to be to make this palette worthwhile. I have other matte palettes that are better, and I'm gonna pass it along. You know, I think someone could really enjoy it, but because I have other matte palettes, I'm not gonna keep it just sitting around in my collection when I know I'm not gonna reach for it. The next part, which is like the hardest part, is my bigger palettes. So I am getting rid of 5 larger palettes, starting with this one from Urban Decay. This is the Ammo palette, and they released like a special edition packaging of it around Christmas time, I think like 2 years ago. And it's really beautiful. There's some really like iconic Urban Decay shades in there, like Oil Slick, Grifter, Sin. Some really good colors. This Maui Wowie is such an interesting color. It's ultra glittery, but the like shade of gold is really interesting. So I just don't use it because it's not a very complete palette. I have a hard time making a look with it because the colors are all shimmery and some of them are like crazy glittery, not just shimmery. So I think it's really fun for a pop of color, but I'm also, again, trying to eliminate some of these cruelty-free brands whose parent companies are not cruelty-free. So sad that Urban Decay falls into that category. I have some products from Urban Decay that I'm keeping, that I'm going to use up. I may not feature them so much on my channel, but I'm not getting rid of them all. But this one is just one I didn't reach for that much, and even though it's just stunning, like look at the packaging and the colors, but I'm going to go ahead and pass that on. All right, another one, speaking of Urban Decay, this is not from Urban Decay, but it is totally a dupe for the first Naked palettes, the original Naked palette. And that's why I picked this up originally, because it was, okay, maybe I'm the only one in the world, but I didn't want the Naked palette because I don't like the fuzzy packaging. I don't like it. The colors, like when you see people using it, the gold lettering fades off of it and it looks dirty, and I didn't want that, but I wanted those colors. Oh my gosh, I wanted this gunmetal gray. I wanted to try out all of those colors. There's the gunmetal gray. But I just don't find myself actually reaching for this. This is kind of like a YouTube made me buy it, and no, YouTube would have made me buy the Naked one, but I wanted something more affordable and something that had more sleek packaging. This is from Makeup Revolution, and I think it's called Iconic. Yeah, it's their Redemption eyeshadow palette, Iconic 1. And I swear it is a dupe. The quality might not be quite as awesome, but you know what? It's up there. It's good. I definitely recommend checking this out if these colors are something that suit you. But for me, I just don't reach for it. I got it because I thought I should have the Naked palette, and this was like the best dupe out there that I could find. But I'm going to go ahead and pass it on now. All right, you guys, last but not least, I did an order a while back for Sleek makeup, and I think Sleek is a really fun brand. It's based out of the UK, and it's cruelty-free. There's just super fun colors. They have great eyeshadow palettes. The colors are very true and pigmented, but the range of colors I just don't get enough use out of. I use like this one and this one and this one a lot. And then the rest of them kind of just go completely unused. And again, I have other matte palettes that I use more frequently because I tend to use mattes for like transition colors, for blending in the crease and that kind of thing. So I don't often find a cause for like a teal matte, or I don't know. So this one I'm going to pass along. I think someone who gets crazy creative with makeup could really enjoy that. And then this one, okay, talk about crazy creative with makeup. Are you ready for this? Look at those colors. Oh my goodness. Look at that. So this one has some really cool metallics. Let me see if I can swatch some of these for you. This is like a sky blue shade. Look at that pigmentation. It's really good. And then there's also these like neon shades. And I'll tell you why I got this. I didn't want to, that's not very pigmented. I didn't want to dish out the cash for the, I believe it was called the, what was it? Was it Electric palette? The one from Urban Decay that was like crazy pigments. I'm not sure that they still even make it anymore. So I got this, and you know what? I'm glad I went with this one and not the Urban Decay one, because this is one of those things where I was like totally drawn in by gorgeous colors because I love color. And I don't use this. I think I've used this once, and the looks that I've actually come up with when I've been playing with it, not in love with. So I'm gonna just pass that one along. And again, I think it's really fun and creative, but it's really just taking up space in my collection. All right, you guys, that's it. So I am going to be decluttering a bunch of singles, some little palettes, some larger palettes as well. Oh, I have one more. I'm sorry, I forgot about this one. This is another NYX one. This is a little bit hard to let go of because it's actually really, really impeccable quality. I think I'm gonna pass this one on to a friend. The quality, you guys, it's incredible. And the sizes of the pans are really good. The colors are all usable, but I am trying to discontinue NYX in my collection, or NYX, whatever, because again, parent company is not cruelty free. And as I was looking through the palettes that I do have, I have all of these colors. So this is just kind of a redundant palette. It's beautiful. I think it's curated really nicely, but it's redundant for my collection. So I'm gonna pass that one on. Okay, that is it. So I'm going to go ahead and donate these, pass them along to friends, throw out the ones that have been destroyed and or used up. And I hope you guys enjoyed that declutter. Next, I'm going to have face products and brushes for you. So I will talk to you then. Bye, guys.